This section of the tutorial will cover the movement and camera controls of the game. First of all, we need to select the game object of the player character, and then we have to make a script for each. On the right of the inspector, you can see that there are already scripts put into place. So we would need to make a script, either right click, create a C# script, or we can just make a script by selecting the game object, typing in here new script or any name, then type the name of your new script. For now, we'll select the character movement. So as you can see here, the key variables we need to keep in mind are speed, jump height, the character controller, the boolean is grounded. These variables are important to determine and to control the character. We must first reference the character controller of the game object where the script lies in. So get component, character controller. That means we have to make a component in the character called character controller component. There you go. It's key that you put this component in the game object. Then, in the update, there are 3 methods being called: movement, handle jump, and apply gravity. For movement, it is the combined movement of forward, backwards, left, and right of the character. It gets the move input from the player by using input get axis horizontal, which makes the character move left and right when it moves left and right by getting a value from -1 to 1 when a player presses the A or D keys on the keyboard or the left and right arrow keys. And for the get axis vertical, it is for the W and S keys or the up and down arrow keys. Vector 3 move essentially gets the amount of movement from the input of the player by making the move multiply by the float. So if it were to move left, it would be negative. If it move backward, it would be negative. This move that magnitude, if greater than 1 float, is so that diagonal movement is not faster than horizontal and vertical movement. This is due to because in a square, when a square is cut into two, two triangles, the hypotenuse, the longest side, it is 2 square root, and it's longer than either side. Therefore, move magnitude makes sure that the diagonal movement is not further or faster than the horizontal or vertical movement. And control.move calls the controller component and uses the method to move by combining the vector 3 move here, the speed, which is mentioned a while ago, 5 float, and time.delta time. Time.delta time is essentially the game using the time scale of the game per second. The speed can be manipulated in the inspector or in the code. Handle jump is using the spacebar when it will make the character jump. Is grounded is a boolean variable that checks whether the character is grounded or when it is touching ground on the bottom part of the game object. So if you look back here, in the very bottom, you can see that it is not necessarily touching the ground, but as soon as this bottom part touches something in the bottom, it will be considered is grounded. Afterward, this is grounded and velocity y is less than 0. This is so that when the character is moving downward, is already grounded, it will not continue gaining velocity as it is stationary or when it's not moving in y level. So, if this was not, if this if statement was not here, the character's velocity would continuously increase while it is still on a single y level, and the moment it jumps, it would maintain its y velocity and immediately go back to the ground. Therefore, this is important. And lastly, this variable, this if statement checks whether the space bar button, jump, or space, is pressed, and it will jump. It will call the jump method, and it will make it the is grounded boolean false. For the jump variable, it translates the velocity of the player character and gets the jump height times the gravity and the default to float, and it gets a square root to make it smooth. Apply gravity makes it so that the character continuously stays on the ground and doesn't fly off when it jumps. When we combine all this together, as you can see, it touches the ground. It's not perfectly in the ground because the collider of the object is not exactly on the feet of the model, but if I press the arrow keys, it moves forward, backward, left, and right. When I press the jump button, it jumps.